Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles the Bands, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a great show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. So yesterday, we did a show reacting to some comments that former Fox host Megyn Kelly had to make on her show, right? And we're going to play that for you momentarily. But as you guys know, the Epstein files are now the #1 story in news right now. And I think this coming week, they're going to be holding a vote for whether or not they're going to release these files to the public. And the White House is scrambling. And something is happening that I think even the White House didn't anticipate, which is a lot of Republicans are even behind this initiative to release these files. Now, obviously, it's going to be highly politicized. This is politics, so that makes a lot of sense. But there are a bunch of schools of thought out there, which is one particular group is saying, oh, you know, the Democrats are doing this to take down Trump. And I understand that. And I can agree with that, because this is politics, and let's just be real. The Democrats don't like Donald Trump. It's a fact. So if you believe that the Democrats are using this as a moment to take Trump down, I would agree with you. They do not like the president. But here's the other thing, though. This is a bipartisan initiative, because it's not just the Democrats that are voting for this. The Republicans are on board for having these files released. The Republicans, not all, but some, right? So yes, two things can be true. The Democrats don't like Trump. The Democrats want to bring Trump down, and I agree with that. But also there's some Republicans that also want these files to be made public, right? And they're taking a principled stand, And I think that that also needs to be said, because some people are still trying to make this thing look like, oh, it's Crips versus Bloods, like it's right. No, that's true, but let's also point that out as well, right? And as you guys know, Jeffrey Epstein, I mean, this guy was a poor example of a human being and the things that he did. And I think that what he did are absolutely indefensible. There's no way to intellectualize or qualify the things that he did. But one person decided to go out there and take a jab at it and try to do so, and the entire internet is coming after her. And that person is Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly on her show was basically trying to humanize Jeffrey Epstein. And I mean, it was bad. It was really, really bad. For those of you who don't remember her comments, I'm going to play it for you now. I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Megyn Kelly's comments here yesterday.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like, he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it, now they call it child abuse material, on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Great. So you heard what she had to say, right? Everyone reacted to this. And even when we did the show, a lot of people were calling her out. A lot of people, Democrat, Republican, I don't care what you are, they were calling her out, right? They were calling her out. But one person decided that he needed to come to the defense of Megyn Kelly. And who would that person be? None other than Stephen A. Smith. Now, as you guys know, Stephen A. Smith, one can consider him now a conservative. I mean, maybe not by how he's registered, but you can certainly believe that by his rhetoric and the things that he says. He likes to call himself an independent, but he doesn't sound like an independent. He sure sounds like a conservative to me, a Republican to me. That's just my take on it. So Stephen A. Smith, who I believe has been on the Megyn Kelly show, decided that he wanted to react to her comments. And in the midst of him reacting to her comments, he started to talk about, oh, well, she's a wonderful person. Even though she said this, she's still a wonderful person. But before we even get into what he had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week I'm really looking forward to some of these upcoming games. This week I'm picking Stephen Curry for more than 29 points. I'm picking Kevin Durant for more than 27 points. I'm picking Giannis Antetokounmpo for more than 12 rebounds. And I'm picking Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Stephen A. Smith had to say here, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to his comments here.
We didn't expect one of those people to be Megyn Kelly. But here she is, in a roundabout way, involved in this now. Because on a show a few days ago, which, by the way, has 4 million plus subscribers. In the interest of full disclosure, I am a fan of Megyn Kelly's. I've been on her show a couple of times. I'm going back on soon. I think she's tremendous. But that doesn't mean we have to agree with everything. And we're certainly not going to agree with what she said here. This was on the Megyn Kelly show, which airs every weekday. It's on SiriusXM Triumph, the Triumph channel. She now has her own channel, by the way. It's her channel. And she deserves it. She's phenomenal, in my opinion. But nobody's perfect, and this is not a flawless moment for her, in my opinion. In 2018, while a member of the Today Show, this is a quote from Megyn Kelly, "There's no consenting for a 14 or even a 17-year-old in these circumstances." That's what she said. It's not going to stop me from appearing on her show as a guest. We can have that conversation if she wants to, and if she doesn't want to have it, that's fine. I'm her guest. If she was on this show, I'd ask her about it. If she doesn't ask me about it on her show, that's fine. I respect the hell out of Megyn Kelly and the work that she has done over the years. And I'm very fond of her because of phenomenal work that she does. She is the real deal in my estimation. I just don't think this was her shining moment. I don't give a damn. I'm not even saying 15 or 5 or whatever. I'm not comparing it. And somebody can sit up there and say a 5-year-old is different from a 15-year-old, and that is not a crime. Just emphasize that it's still sexual assault. That 15-year-old is a minor. And there should be nothing that's coming out of any of our mouths that would draw the distinction between the two when it all involves underage girls. You're 15, you're underage. You're 10, you're underage. You're 5, as egregious and awful and pathetic and horrific as that is, you're underage. They all fall under that one category that is paramount to recognize. You're underage. You're underage. And I don't think that that's something that Megyn Kelly should have said. None of us are perfect. I certainly ain't. We all make mistakes with the verbiage that comes out of our mouth from time to time. And maybe there's an explanation that she could provide where she was alluding to what somebody else was saying as opposed to what she was saying. I don't know. I just know what I just aired for you. She should not have said that. Having said that, you ain't going to get me to sit up there and say you shouldn't listen to her show, you shouldn't watch her show, she's irresponsible. Blah. Megyn Kelly's the real deal. She just messed up here. She just messed up with that comment. And she has to talk about that.
So you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. What are my thoughts about this? I think Stephen A. Smith is committed to going down this path that he's on. I really, 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 really do. I think that he is so entrenched in this political thing that he's doing that I don't think there's any coming back at this point. Stephen A. Jeffrey Epstein was a bad guy. And when you have a person like Megyn Kelly trying to humanize him and talking about there's a major difference between a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old, bro, there's certain things that people will say that you should have a line where it's like, okay, we've been cool. But if you say this particular thing, I'm done with you. This is one of those things. It's one of those things. Like, this is her comments, what she said about the kids and all. That's where you draw the line. But Stephen A. Smith spent the first few minutes talking about how great she is and how wonderful she is. If she was as great as you say she is, why did she say that? Why would she say something like that? Why? Why would she say something like that? Those comments, you can't defend them, but yet you're trying to. And I think Stephen A. Smith missed the mark on this one, man. I think he did. I think there are times where if people that you're cool with, if they cross a certain line, it's okay to not be cool with them anymore. Unless they come out there and put out a public apology. It's not about canceling. It's about drawing a line. It's like, where's your line? Where's your boundaries? Where are your boundaries? Where are your boundaries? Like, that was insane. That was insane. And you're up there talking about, she's a wonderful person and all of this. Bro, really? 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 I mean, are you serious? She does fantastic work. You could say the same thing about Nick Fuentes. Yeah, he does effective work. What he's doing is effective for whatever his goals are. But is he a wonderful person? Like, what are we talking about here? But that's Stephen A. Smith for y'all, man. I think Stephen A. Smith he's over the deep end at this point. There ain't no coming back, man. Ain't no coming back at this point. I mean, but what do you expect? When the news first broke, when the Epstein thing was picking up a lot of steam, Stephen A. Smith basically said that the only people that are concerned about this are people who are jobless, people who have nothing to do with, but better to do with their lives. This is what he was saying. He said these are people who have nothing else better to do with their lives, are the ones that are preoccupied with this. He then said that we don't even know if the Epstein files exist after Pam Bondi already said that they do. So I don't know. I don't know what Stephen A. Smith's goals are for doing all of this. I don't see what he gets out of all of this. I really don't understand. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. But hey, it is what it is. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. We'll catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.